Walker, the Overland family man. In this video, we're going to be zipping up the week-long trip we took up into the Plumas and Lassen backcountry discovery trails. Right over there, babe. Got the littles out here picking up the trash. This campground was a disaster. Very rude people. I mean, this is, sacred ground that's been used by millennia, used for millennia by people, and people just trash it. It's disappointing and hurts my feelings a little bit, but we're gonna pick up what we can. That's right. Good job, girls. Put it in a pile right here and we'll take it out with us, okay? Keep going. They're up there doing a good job picking up all the garbage. Good job, girls. What are you doing, Demi? This climb out of the Mill Creek Valley on the north side had some stunning and, quite frankly for me, terrifying views. My fear of heights kept me from fully enjoying this stretch of trail. On some stretches, I couldn't even look out my window or take my hands off the wheel. In hindsight, I wish I built up more nerve to capture this for you, but maybe next time. I did learn one thing: no black bear pass for me. Once you've gotten up and out of the canyon where Mill Creek and Black Rock set, you come into some really pretty country. There's a lot more in this area here I'd like to explore. There was a lot of water and dispersed camping to be had. Decided to pull down a little spot. Someone left some trash in the fire pit, but this is a cool camping spot. It goes down into here. Pretty cool.
Several song-filled hours later.
So we're at the Heart Lake Trailhead. I have convinced my lady not to hike this because it's like a 1,200 foot elevation gain over the course of a mile, and
I would do it.
she would do it. I'm like, ugh.
It's a baby.
I don't know, I'm a baby. But just saw a big old bear. Drone footage coming up, or not, or already seen. But that was cool. So we're gonna drive on up the trail. She didn't have anything to say. Anywho, Heart Lake Trailhead looks like a strenuous hike. Pass. Looks like we have some fellow overlanders up here in a 4Runner, kicking up dust on our trail. So definitely a lot more traffic up here on the Lassen BDT. We didn't encounter a lot of people in Plumas, but definitely more in Lassen. Hat Creek, we were a little concerned we wouldn't find a place to camp. There was people everywhere. Dispersed camping is quite popular in this area, but we happened to cross this little gem here. So we got the kitchen there, the tent there, our dining room table here with a view. So it turned out okay. This was a little bit upstream, and it took some exploration to get here, but we found a nice spot. Nice and wide open, and well, I think we scored. What do you think of this campsite?
Good.
All right, what do you think, George? What do you think of the campsite? You like it? Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
We lucked out.
We did. And dinner is ready. Lamb chops, potato discs. Girls, how's that dinner? Good.
What is this?
Potatoes.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie, this gas propane fire pit's kind of growing on me. You don't get all the smoke smell. It's easy, and it's not subject to fire restrictions.
Yep.
And it makes s'mores just as good as anything, doesn't it? Little dirt bag. What are you doing, George?
Good.
You're doing good?
I'm hot. We're doing water. We're just hot. No, I'm hot. I'm cat. I'm soaping water.
You cat?
Cat.
You're dirty.
I got to go this.
Mm-hmm. You ready? You ready to take a bath?
Yeah.
In the creek?
No.
So now it's party time in the tent. How you doing, George? You ready to party?
Yeah. I'm dead.
Got the dog all hunkered into her little little hidey hole. Girls,
Mommy now. So,
all ready to go.
you, mommy.
We just took our river bath. What'd you think of the river bath, Tones? Bad. George, did you like your bath in the river? George, did you like your river bath?
Yeah.
Yeah, you liked it?
Yeah.
Liar.
Liar. This one doesn't get a bath till we get home. But she's a good girl. Some would say the best of them all.
Huh?
Can you smell that?
The following day.
So we're on day 7 of our adventure. Last time we checked in at Meadow Camp, which was a nice camp. Since then we have stayed at Black Rock, which was a really strange vibe there. It was weird. I don't know. I don't really subscribe to all that juju, but there was a definite vibe there that was off.
It was odd. Well, when we first got there, the camp itself, the campground itself, had been totally trashed, which was just kind of off-putting.
But we
Initially,
cleaned it up.
we did clean it up.
We cleaned it up.
What we could, and then the wind was just ripping through the canyon during the night, and it was really unsettling.
It was kind of, yeah, it was strange. Beautiful spot, but I don't know, I just felt like we didn't belong there for some reason. We moved on to Yellow Creek after that. The stretch, okay.
Yellow Creek was first, then Black
Yellow
Rock.
Creek was first. So the last stretch of Plumas National Forest is pretty wild. There's some washouts, and definitely that was the hairiest part of the trail. But Yellow Creek, beautiful.
Yeah, it was a gorgeous campsite. I would camp there again. For
Yeah,
sure.
that was a campground. It wasn't dispersed, but it was absolutely beautiful. And
Yeah.
then from there, we're here at Hat Creek. We've been here since yesterday. We decided to forego the last leg of the Lassen Trail and just stay here and relax for a day.
It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah, there's a lot of people at the start of there's I think it's Black Oak Campground down at the
No pine,
Black Pine,
I think pine tree or something.
something like that. I'll put the name
What else?
here. That's at the beginning of the road that we came in. There's a lot of people with trailers kind of dispersed on the first portion of this trail, and then we headed up kind of a little bit more of a rugged trail that runs parallel on the east side of Hat Creek to the PCT, and we found a really nice spot here, and there's a couple spots up from us as well, but nobody in sight, can't hear anybody. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, this is a great little spot. Very peaceful, but also close to amenities.
Yeah, gas station's a 15-minute drive away.
Lassen National Park is not too far either. Subway,
Subway Cave.
which we decided not to check out because we have the dog, and
We'll be back to finish what we haven't seen. There's a lot to explore up here, more than you want to stretch. You know, sticking to the Plumas Trail and the Lassen Trail. I mean, you're going to need a full week to do both in conjunction. Traveling with kids, overlanding with kids is interesting. We're packed in tight. It can be done, but there's a lot of extra work there.
we just need to fine tune some of the organizational skills. But it is a challenge to stay organized when you have somebody that loves to get disorganized and dirty, huh?
Yeah. So some aspects we need to dial in. Fridge is definitely in our future. Roof rack, we've been waiting for Gobi racks to create our rack for a few months now, and that can't come soon enough. Hopefully we'll have it in time for another trip this year, but that'll be a game changer for us. And then, you know, something like a Dometic or ARB fridge would be a game changer too. That's definitely crucial. I mean, a lot of other folks have said going on a trip longer than a weekend, you definitely want one of those fridges. That is a fact. So I couldn't justify until now spending more on a cooler than I spent on the fridge in my house, but for doing something like this, I can definitely see the appeal now. Aside from that, yeah, you can definitely take extended trips with 2 kids and a dog in a Jeep without a roof rack, but it's tight. We do have a little trail rack on the back of our bumper. That's for our fuel and water. And we wouldn't be able to do it without that. So having a little bit of extra space outside the Jeep is key. But
We've had a lot of fun.
yeah, we saw some bears. Saw 3 bears total. Did a little bit of fishing. Didn't catch any fish in Hat Creek, but they're in there. You can see them. They just weren't biting. There's a lot to do and a lot to see in Lassen for sure. There's countless miles of trails up here. A lot of dispersed camping. A lot of water. You've got the national park. So we're definitely going to be coming back up here. There's tons to see. Just hopefully we have a roof rack and a fridge and a couple other things to make things smoother, but it hasn't been hard either. It's a bit of a grind every day, but it's totally doable. Right?
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that it's too much of a grind because it's been really fun to see
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, it's not so much that it's not fun. And I can see that some folks that have things more dialed with like rooftop tents and stuff like that, it would be a lot easier to pack up, pack down every day. For this trip, we got away from stovetop. We got a scuttle for the first time, and we've been using that, and that's been great. Yeah, that's about the sum of all things.
So tomorrow we're gonna go to Lassen National Forest, and then we're gonna head home.
I don't like that. That hurts.
They're wrestling over here. So there it is. Plumas Trail, Lassen Trail, the backcountry discovery trails are definitely worth checking out. Plumas is way more rugged, the roads, than the Lassen, but there's a lot less people and a lot less traffic. The roads in Lassen you can go 30, 40 miles an hour on some of them. So they're a lot more maintained, but you're going to run into more people. So there's kind of a trade-off there. It's a lot faster going on Lassen. I feel like the sights in Plumas were a little prettier sometimes. The discovery points, like the creeks and things like that, were at the same time like Lassen has its own ball of wax and has its own things to offer. Definitely more bears and wildlife up here in Lassen. So that's something to think about. But we've been able to find, between the 2 trails, we've been able to find water every night to camp next to, which is really cool. Yeah. Anyways, tomorrow Lassen National Park and then home.
I want to thank you for following along on this journey up the Plumas and Lassen backcountry discovery trails.
There's a lot more along the way that I could have shown you, but quite frankly, I'm not that good at this.
I hope I was able to show you enough of these trails to get you excited to try it on your own. If you liked it and you want to see more adventures, you know what to do. Till next time, happy trails.